Hello, folks. Welcome to Indie Comics Review. This is the show where every week I review 3 indie comic books. If that is the kind of content that you find interesting, be sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button. Also, there's a link down below to my Alternative City shop where I sell t-shirts, buttons, magnets, and all other kind of cool stuff, including comic books that I make. So let's get started right away with the first book, which is Public Domain #1. And it is written and drawn by Chip Zdarsky and is on the Image Comics label. Sid Dallas is responsible for pop culture's greatest hero, the Domain. But his sons, Miles and David, have a complicated relationship with both the creation and their creator. Can they convince their dad to fight for their family's legacy? This fun and heartfelt series, written and illustrated by Eisner winner Chip Zdarsky, Sex Criminals, Daredevil, explores a wild alternative world where comic book creators aren't properly acknowledged or compensated for their creations. Crazy, I know, right? And the funny thing, that was even Chip writing that little summary right there. So, yeah, it's a little thing like, hey, it's even Chip, right? Yeah, I know it's you, Chip. Yeah, we get it. That Chip guy, I tell you, he's pretty talented. I don't know if you guys know that or not. I think he's gonna be writing Batman. Like by the time you see this video. And that character is in really excellent hands. Just being passed on from Tiny N to whoever was writing it in between into Chip's hands right now. I know Jimenez is a great artist, but man, I'm excited to see what direction this Batman series goes with Chip. Anywho, so we're not here to talk about Batman. We're talking about this book, The Domain, which is just probably my favorite read of the week, in a week of a lot of really good books came out this week, or last week, I should say. The Domain is a story of this character called the Domain. But so the Domain, it was created by this artist. And he's a good dude, you know. It's Sid Dallas is the guy's name, and he has 2 sons. One of them, who looks a lot like Chip Zdarsky, is a reporter, and he's both of them love their dad. He has one son that's kind of a ne'er-do-well, but a lovable screw up kind of a guy, and he's reminds you of so many different creators in the comics industry. This is a book about the comics industry. It's not about superheroes. It's not about horror. It's not about any kind of supernatural anything. This is about real stuff. So a lot of people are not going to care for this kind of thing. It may be too boring for them. Me, I love it because it shows all the good things and also all the not so nice things that you hold up to a mirror and you can see in this industry that we all love. There are some people say the Hollywood types are not treated, I would say they're treated with the respect that they deserve in this book. There are some people who are just taking advantage of the industry, who really don't give a damn about creators or the characters or the fans or anything. They're just in it for the money. There's also a co-creator, one of Sid's co-creators, I guess is the writer, who just thinks he just walks on water. You can probably relate him to a lot of other people living or dead in the industry who are very much like them. He has this assistant, and this assistant actually kind of meets Sid at not a convention, but at a premiere for the big Domain movie. And the assistant is kind of, I would say, sympathetic towards Sid. Even though she works for this other guy who's just treats Sid like dirt. Like I could name names, but I don't want to get into all that. But I think a lot of people will see the characters of the real life people that these characters are based on if you look closely at the book. There's a meeting with this Chip's character, the reporter, has to do a story on the Domain movie. And he's just like, I don't want to do this story. His editor tells him he's got to do it, and she gives him this story about how she had to do stories and what she used for her motivation. And there's an incident with the actor, and there's at the end there's a cliffhanger that leaves you wanting to see more about how this story is going to turn out, because there's a big turn at the end where some things are revealed. And man, I look forward to this. I think it's I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a limited series, maybe 5 issues or such. It can't be ongoing, but for however long it's going to be around, if you like the minutia of the comic book industry and want to just see people portrayed that exist in the orbit of the comics industry, all the peripheral folks, all the Hollywood folks, all the writers and all the prima donnas that exist in this industry, and they're out there, believe you me, they exist, then the Domain is a really good read for people who are interested in stuff like that. So man, I give it a really high grade. I would say the first issue was great for me. I love stuff like this. And if you like character-driven, dialogue-driven, story-driven books that don't need any kind of pow, zap, bam, save the world kind of a thing, The Domain would be a good book for you. I absolutely recommend it highly. Next book is Sins of the Black Flamingo, #1. It is written by Andrew Wheeler and is art and cover art by Travis Moore, and it is on the Image Comics label also. Occult Noir, Miami Sleaze. Sebastian Harlow is the Black Flamingo, a flamboyant and narcissistic thief who gets his kicks stealing mystic artifacts from the wealthy and corrupt of Miami's occult underground. When his latest job leads him to the biggest scores so far, the hedonistic outlaw discovers something he wasn't looking for, something to believe in. Be gay, do crimes, as pure pop art. This outlaw occultist queer heist book goes for your throat, your heart, your groin, and your wallet, and will leave you covered in glitter and feathers. Sins of the Black Flamingo is a drop-dead gorgeous, funny, and sexy book. Within pages, you immediately know that Sebastian Harlow is the most exciting new character in years, dripping with Wheeler's wit and looking fabulous thanks to stunning work by Moore and Bon Beyond. You're going to want more immediately. All those glowing reviews are very warranted. This is a very good book. And by the way, Miami Sleaze would be a great name for a TV show. I don't know about you, but I think that's great. But The Sins of the Black Flamingo, #1. Sebastian Harlow is a thief like you've never seen before. He's like a gay male Catwoman or something. He's a very entertaining character. He's living the Miami lifestyle. They take opportunity to rib the people of Florida every chance they get, and it incorporates this occult underground mystique to it as well. We open the story with Sebastian just casing this joint, which is like this. I think this place may actually exist. This some sort of museum of American artifacts and stuff. And within this museum, there's a secret room of Nazi memorabilia. And he steals this one artifact from that room and delivers it to a family who was who I guess hired him to do this. But he did this one just on gratis because he felt that the cause was just. And this leads him to another heist, which is tied to this party that he and his friend are attending that very night. So he was actually planning on actually doing a heist, I believe it was the thing, but it was a spontaneous thing. And he stumbles on this place, on this individual, and he realizes that this is a dark person. This is a person that's into some really dark and crazy stuff. And they get to this party and they start using, I think his friend is also some sort of a conjurer or a witch or something like that, because she works some spells on people at the party. And they both discover that there's something going on in this place that's way more than meets the eye. Oh man, this is a really well-drawn book. It's funny. It's something you don't see every day in a lot of comic books. I got to give Image a lot of credit for putting out something like this with this kind of offbeat hero that you don't see a lot of. This is the kind of book I think that we need more of in comics because we don't want to get stale with the same old, this is going to threaten the world, save the world, yada yada yada, that kind of thing. But this is more into kind of I wouldn't say meta, but definitely into a genre that we don't see a lot of. It's kind of like, I guess, Miami Vice, only the other side of the law. It's very, very cool, very well written, very well drawn. I will absolutely be around for this. This is a 5-issue series. All 5 of these are done, baby. I'm in for all these. Tales of the Black Flamingo. This is a really entertaining. It's funny, and it draws you in with the whole supernatural undercurrents of the book. So I do recommend this book. The next book is Mindset #1. It is written by Zach Kaplan with art and cover art by John Pearson, and it is on the Vault Comics label. When an introverted tech geek accidentally discovers mind control, he and his friends do something unexpected. They put the science into the app to help users break their technology addiction. But as their Mindset app achieves a dangerous cult following, lies, conspiracies, and murder come to light. Are they helping people or controlling them? I tell you, this was a really good week for indie books. This past week got some real winners, and this was one of them. Mindset is a brilliant idea. It's these kids, this one guy in particular that develops this app. And this app is meant to break people's addiction to technology and social media and stuff like that. And they actually get to pitch this idea. They're college students. They got to actually pitch this idea to some vulture capitalists, some Silicon Valley types, and they were pitching it as something that could help people. And it was shot down because, where's the money in that? How can we? There's no money in helping people. What are you talking about? I mean, they talk about. They were talking to them. The capitalists was talking like, well, how can we scale this? How can we make this? How can we get the algorithms? No, this is the whole point. We don't want people to be addicted to this stuff, and it was just counterproductive to what the whole Silicon Valley thing is about. So they get shot down as far as that goes. Graduation comes, and the kid realizes that, he gets this message that he's not going to graduate because he's missing a lab. Something happened, and he wasn't able to do that lab that day, and that's going to cost him the grade. And it's either going to be summer school or come back for another semester. And that was not going to happen because his parents, come from a very affluent family, and they're all about appearances, as so many families are, so many people are in general. They wanted him they're pretty much living through their children, and they want their children to represent them as bragging rights. And he doesn't really have a good relationship with them. So long story short, he doesn't want to deal with the blowback of not graduating on time. So he just pretty much begs the dean, like, look, let me make the lab up. I'll come in tonight. It's like, the weekend before graduation, everybody's already off and partying. And the dean says, look, if you can get a TA to come in and let you into the lab, then you can get the lab done and I'll consider it. So done. So he calls, there's only 3 TAs and that he's close to, calls all 3 of them, pretty much have resolved the fact, I'm not going to graduate. And he's sitting at his parents' party, and he gets a call from the one TA, which is this cool dude. He's like, oh yeah, come on down. So the TA lets him in. He brings his boys, and they're doing the lab and so forth. And this is where he discovers that he's on to something. And this app is way more of a thing than he ever imagined. And the way it leaves off, man, this could be a really, I think, something that people would relate to, and it would be an interesting subject matter for this book, because there's nothing out there that will really help people. Everything that's out there is geared to make money, and this actually begins with a situation where someone is killed. So I guess things go off the rails at some point, all the road to hell and good intentions and all that. So things just don't work out for the kid. But I can't wait to see what happened to make things go off the rails. So yeah, Mindset is from Vault. Hopefully it wraps up the same way it started. off to a really good start, and that's another good book in this past week of really good indie comics. Mindset #1 from Vault. Definitely check this out if you're into tech stuff, and the artwork is so different. It's I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of in the Department of Truth, that kind of look. I would say it's a different kind of a style. It looks painterly, but also kind of computer generated. Very interesting art, and even more so interesting story. I do recommend this book. If you like good indie books, check out Mindset. This week's Artist Alley book was sent to me by mail, and I bumped it up in the queue because I like when people send me actual books, and he sent me 3 copies of this book called Tooth and Nail, and it is written by, created and drawn by Corey Bird, and he has this bird's eye view comics label that he's using as an imprint. These are three actual in-person books, because I appreciate when somebody actually goes through the trouble to actually send me a physical copy. I know it's hard because shipping is not cheap, and some people are overseas and that kind of thing, but this the work is great. This is a person that I love, because people that have to are a single creator and they have to do everything, I can totally relate. I can feel, I totally relate to that, because I've done the shows myself, and it's hard to be behind the table in the Artist Alley when people are walking past you and looking for, like, where's the guy that draws Wolverine, and this is something that I really like. Tooth and Nail is a book about these anthropomorphic cats. So this group of anthropomorphic cats, they are constantly hounded by the ratto, which are like these crazy rats, which are just like, just ravenous, and they're just an ongoing war between these rats and the cats. And we're introduced to the cats one by one, and there's like a story behind. It's like a family that I guess that runs that's in charge of all the cats, and the head cats, if you will, and the rats. There's like a big battle in the first issue. This is pretty. It's pretty intense, and the artwork is there, and they actually have a Facebook page. Because I was looking for like their actual website, and I totally get it, because my website, Alternative City Comics, is like, it's there now, but there's nothing on it. So I totally get that the website is inactive right now. And the one thing I could find that they actually have, we can probably contact them and get books from them, is their Facebook page, and I'll leave a link down below to their Facebook page. I don't do Facebook anymore, but I was able to find it, and I noticed that they have like a lot of drawing videos on his Facebook page, and I noticed that this is a completely drawn, inked, lettered, by Corey himself. And I think his wife was an editor, and this is a whole family affair with this thing. It's just beautiful. I love the fact that people are doing this, because he's doing the work. Corey is doing the work. He's putting out the comics, and it's an inspiration to all of us who are we just want to make comic books. We know we're not going to get rich doing this. So this is just something that's in your gut that you just have to do, and you don't give a damn how it gets done or how much you make doing it. This is something that's in your heart. You got to put it out there, and give credit to Corey for putting these books out, and for sending me 3 copies of it, because I know shipping ain't cheap, and these books are not cheap to make. Printing is a bitch. It's hard to find a good printer. It took me a while before I found a good one. So thanks, Corey, and just keep it up. I'm gonna leave a link down below, like I said, to people can check this book out, and more power to the indie artists, man, and the indie creators. So that's it. That's all for this Indie Comics review. Man, thanks for stopping by. I'll be doing another one next week. Hopefully another Artist Alley too. Some person that I maybe jumped over to get Corey's books out there. But I think this was a good cause to do that, because love the indie creators. So leave a like, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for stopping by, like I said. And until next time, see you guys in the funny papers. Hey, don't forget to subscribe and leave a thumbs up.